What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stochastic here on the Odd Chopper channel, coming to you with a Tuesday edition of MLB Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell goes a long way for me on this video, goes a long way for you. That way you become apprised whenever great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. As you can see behind me, it says Lindy NFL, but we are running that promo code here for you as well. Wanted to overlap it if you've checked out the MLB and the NFL together. Very much thank you. Obviously, yesterday, well, Dodgers are down 3-1. I'm recording this at halftime of the second NFL game here, so just after 11:30 p.m. Eastern time, late night of football for you guys, after 8:30 p.m. Eastern time, Pacific time. So lots to get to here on this 16-game MLB slate. Got tons of closing line value. 8.5 goes to 9, and the Yankees put up 0 runs against Simeon Woods Richardson, outlier. And then, of course, the Dodgers, well, that was a silly number. Ranger Suarez was plus 116. We ended up diving in on that. They close, not even just even money, ended up having a minus sign in front of it at a majority of books, minus 102, minus 103, a majority of spots. And they're down 3-1 right now. The Phillies are after a Schwarber in the first inning, followed by Max Muncy, left-on-left crime, couple of weird things there. But yeah, 3-1 here heading into the last couple of innings there. It was an okay spot in the premium Discord. We hit an underdog card that was very useful that carried over into today. And the biggie, Justin Herbert over 1.5 passing touchdowns. That was insane to be inside of minus 135. So felt good about that one. Couldn't get the Mike Evans touchdown. I mean, Stingley's great, but you got the targets. If he doesn't shove Stingley in that one spot, I still think he comes down with the ball there and gets that touchdown, but that's neither here nor there. They end up running it with Rachaad White in. Rachaad White inside of 9 seconds getting a touch. Wild stuff. But overall, still felt really good about the reads, felt good about the process, and we got closing line value, which is what we're going to try to do here. 3 MLB plays that I've already got locked and loaded for you. 2 that I've played. 1 that's still waiting in the wings, but I'm 99.9% sure that it's going to be on the card based on historical pricing and what I saw for his pricing today. What am I talking about? Well, I guess you'll just have to wait and find out. You don't have to wait much longer. We got the NFL rocking, friends. 50% off weekly, monthly. It's been a great start. First 2 weeks. The video was not good week 2, but sure as heck. I mean, I hate when it happens like this. It's just like I had a good betting weekend, but obviously my bets that I did from the video didn't go down as well as I would have liked. Hit 3 or 4 touchdowns on Sunday. That kind of carried the day. Had a lock on Judkins over 11.5 rushing yards. He goes for 60. There were some really sharp plays overall. Feel good about the process in the NFL streets. Gonna have some forward-facing stuff for you come Friday for that show. And it's my birthday, so you'll have to be nice to me no matter what on Friday, because I'll be working. Everybody's working for their birthday. That's me. Also, be like Lindy. Join Tails today. Would love to see you guys there. But yeah, Lindy NFL. We got that rocking for the Discord. And right below it, come join Tails. If you want to do what I do, if you think you've got something for the people to see in the sports betting streets, well, we got the best platform for you to do it, and it's only getting better. Wait until you see some of the improvements coming over the course of the next week or two. It's going to be unfrickin' believable. I can't wait to share all of it with you. We got leaderboards coming. We got unit tracking coming. We got everything you could possibly want all in one easy to find place. Be like Lindy, join Tails today, because now is when you want to be there. Alrighty, y'all, to the leans we go. Hit that like button if you wouldn't mind. Obviously, talking you through the process of some of these bets that I haven't yet made. And we got a double header. Braves, Washington. They're going to give us some morning baseball. And you know I like some morning baseball. Even if it's something very, very light in the units, like a 0.1, 0.25 unit type play, I'll find you something in the morning if we really want to sweat. Plus, I'm on meetings too. I'm sitting on my phone throughout the day too. Even though this is my job and it's traditionally what I'm very good at, I like to have a little skin in the game in the morning. And so, yeah, I'm going to let it rock for sure on something. It's Cole Irvin in the first game, followed by Sale versus Gore, the 2 southpaws with low arm angles that should be entertaining AF, but Mackenzie Gore, he's still, I think, hurt to some extent. Marcell Ozuna, 7-hole DH. It's wild to see these lineup cards as they come out for Atlanta. Now, Ronald Acuna back up in the 3-hole. Does he continue up there? He just hit a bomb today, so I think he probably does. But the main thing is Jake Irvin there. Matt Olson is starting to come alive. 26 homers now on the season. I feel like I hadn't seen his name on my sheet forever because he was just hitting low line drives, usually at second baseman. So pull hitter, traditionally, you go into Washington, nice hitter's park. It's an upgrade for sure over Truist, although Is it an upgrade in terms of weather? Well, been mid 80s up in Washington, D.C. Still pretty decent humidity. It's one of those things where you won't see as many home runs on the card going forward. And say all that knowing that I do have a home run play for you today in the like section. It's technically a lean like, but anywho, we'll get to it. Chicago Cubs taking on the Pittsburgh Pirates. No matter what, no matter where, Paul Skeens is the best pitcher in baseball. He's just been the best pitcher in baseball since he basically entered the league. He also has Livy Dunn, which is cool. But I love my wife, so the Cubs, we're going to pay attention to Cade Miso Horton. Yeah, Cade Horton. I thought that was a pretty good bit, personally. But Cade Horton, he's pitching a little above his head at the moment. That's the main reason that I'm kind of like, hey, do I really want to do this? But main reason I want to do it is the Pirates, they don't have a lot to play for, and the Cubs have everything to play for. So Pittsburgh's about development, and you saw some of that today against Braxton, and they win 4-0. The Cubbies do. Pirates really bringing nothing offensively to the table. PNC Park, not a good offensive park as is. So Cubbies money line against Skeens. Skeens mother trucker. You're getting an okay price right now. I'm going to wait for the slappies overnight and see what happens to that price and see if we can't get a better number for tomorrow. Not really feeling that way about the Cleveland-Detroit spot. Cantillo versus Mize. Casey Mize, we picked our spots perfect with Casey Mize. I'm 3-0 betting against this guy this year. One time with a near lock, but I don't know if Joey Cantillo is the guy I really want to go nuts with. Obviously, this neutralizes their game plan with like a Kerry Carpenter. Does he even end up in the lineup ahead of times? Jahmai Jones ends up leading off and being kind of your main culprit there. Or, they've done like 2-hole, 3-hole with him recently. Just really want to see the Detroit lineup before I really try to attack them with Cantillo. Cantillo's got strikeout stuff. This guy, southpaw, 27% K rate, 368 xwOBA, and you look at like a 6% barrel percentage next to a 9% barrel percentage. What does it even mean? What do you think I think when I'm talking about a 9% barrel percentage? Well, you're giving up 9% of your at-bats to a barrel. Eventually, you're going to run into a very hard hit ball, and you got to hope that it's not against the likes of a Spencer Torkelson or a Riley Green or things of that nature. But Joey Cantillo, he neutralizes the two main guys, Kerry Carpenter and Riley Green, to some extent, where I think we can entertain Cleveland at these kind of prices. I think this is a little bit off, but do I really want to force it? I'm not sure. I've gone back and forth, both with the Cubs and Cleveland multiple times, kept them off for now. Early K-Ladder. I'm not talking about just early in the morning. This guy's last name is Early, and I really liked his stuff. And how about the Toronto guy today? Talked about that last night. Boy, did he come to fruition. Holy Nikes. But we got Jose Barrios coming up in a second. So, of course, let's not get ahead of ourselves, shall we? The Athletics on the road are going to strike out. They're going to strike out even in their home ballpark, but at least now you don't have to worry about as much disaster. It is a nice Fenway Park for hitters. You get Brent Rooker out there who does hit high fly balls. Tyler Soderstrom going up against Connolly Early, but this guy Early in the morning, left on left. Yet again, a very difficult spot for me looking at this A's lineup with Kurtz, Soderstrom, Butler, all neutralized. A lot of southpaws on the mound here the last 2 days that I feel like have stood out for me and really nerfed what I've wanted to do in the home run department, and ended up game stacking Toronto-Tampa with 4 homers that did not come to fruition in Lindy's long balls. 2-1 baseball game. Nothing like it. Really nothing like it. In 11 innings, too, mind you. 3 runs they got in Steinbrenner Field, which is, fantastic for hitting unless apparently you've got to just Joe Boyle rules finally when I've got homers against him. Awesome. Thanks, bud. That guy just owns my soul, apparently. Tampa Bay money line. The main reason I'm looking at that, obviously, Jose Barrios. This is not my guy. He's never going to be my guy. He will not be my guy in this spot. But I'm not loving the opening price here going to the Tampa side. And Ryan Pepio, I like what he's done. Some of the reverse splits for him, Shane Bass, some of these other guys, it's just wild. But 9.5% barrel percentage, 16-degree launch angle. I think I'm more interested in Toronto homers than I am in Rays money line. I think that's really what it comes down to. I'm going to prioritize the player props most of the time because it's where I have more of an edge. And I don't want to have negative correlation walking into tomorrow being like, I can't play these Toronto homers. I have a half unit on Tampa money line. It sounds stupid when I say it out loud. So don't do that. Don't do that. Milwaukee -1, -1.5 here, taking on the Angels. This one, Dana versus Peralta, huge pitching mismatch. Look at that. I've gotten so much better at saying words. Now, Caden Dana has had some strikeout stuff here from the righty, starting things off. But he's got a 4.79 expected ERA, 6.32 actual ERA. Bad times are coming. Bad times are coming, friends. You got this next slide, these six. Man, we got some interesting props. Monty home run, I want you to be very careful with this because he has had some fluctuating numbers. And there's been some fluctuating weather in Chicago. Sometimes with Wrigley blowing in, it's been blowing out here in Chicago for the White Sox Stadium and vice versa and things of that nature. We don't have Wrigley on this slate. I didn't even look at it on Windfinder today, but looking at Windfinder, it looks like it's slightly in from the right. Can't confirm that here right now because sometimes the wind will change overnight and I'll wake up and everybody tells me I'm wrong. So I try not to go crazy with it. I always try to intertwine it because, well, weather matters a lot in baseball. So I pay attention to it a ton. Don't always bring it up as much here night before purely because I don't want to put you in. Trust me, if it goes in the lake department, if it goes into the main department, it's been researched, double-checked. We're in good spot. But this one specifically, very curious where the books open, Monty, because the guy has like the sixth most home runs since the All-Star break. Ridiculous company that he's got up there with like the Schwarbers of the world. So, yeah, wild times there with Mr. Colson Montgomery. Cam Schlittler on one side, yeah, this is definitely strikeout haven with the Zebby Matthews on the other side as well. Both of these guys could have 10 strikeouts. They could also give up 5 earned. And it wouldn't surprise me whatsoever, have 2 strikeouts on their way. We just saw Simeon Woods Richardson mow him down for 11 strikeouts at the Yankees. And Cam Schlittler gets to go up against the Twins where Carlos Rodon, I said this a little bit on the program yesterday and then a little bit on the DFS show today. I'm not a huge fan of trying to take on, like, the Yankees just really are one of those teams with Carlos Rodon's of the world, some of these starting pitchers, where if you get a southpaw out there up against the Twins are just going to roll out a righty lineup that doesn't K a ton. They put Austin Martin up there, Luke Keeschel up there, and they only had one of the Cody Clemens, Matt Wallner, pretty much every single day against a lefty for the last month. It's been crazy. So now you get a righty out there. I do want to see the lineup before I would touch anything with Cam Schlittler here, because in the event that ends up having Austin Martin, who I do assume is just going to be leading off, or, the 2-hole guy. So Buxton leading off, Austin Martin, Luke Keeschel. Then you get into Trevor Larnach. Where does he fall into it? Matt Wallner, where does he fall into it? Cody Clemens, where does he fall into it? Because Matt Wallner, you want as high as possible. He was in the 5-hole today against a lefty. If he ends up there again, 29.3% K rate, those are the good things. Him, James Outman. You definitely want James Outman in that lineup. Even Edward Julian's been striking out a ton. So lots of ways that Minnesota's lineup is better than you expect, worse than you expect. Be reactive, be proactive. I used to use that on acne. Now I have a pretty face, so I don't need it. Seattle money line, right? I treated my body like absolute garbage this weekend. Beer and wings. Wings and beer. Saturday and Sunday football. Need to watch it. Seattle money line taking on Kansas City. Feel useful. Feel very useful. Hey, Ranger Suarez just got 5 strikeouts. Cash that one. Discord's not going to know because, actually Discord's going to know, and I'm just not going to be able to react to it for half an hour. Seattle money line. I always like to put my messages in as I'm tracking stuff live. It's just who I am. Gilbert versus Waka Waka. Yeah, minus 150 is a little bit heavy. I want that inside of minus 135, minus 140, and I could really get down and get my eagle on because it's price and probability. Right now, I actually think that we're going to see that number come up. So that's why I'm just staying away, steering clear over the atmosphere. Cincinnati money line here. Also, Seattle outside of their home ballpark, always something appealing. But Kauffman, that is not the best stadium you could possibly be walking into, that's for sure. St. Louis Cincy, I stared at this game for 45 minutes today. Couldn't come up with anything. Should have bet the over. That was the closest thing I got to betting because I knew Zach Littell, Matthew Liberatore, complete garbage. Garbaggio. Waste management open, but not golf baseball style. Anyway, those are the 2 pitchers. Then the 2 pitchers today, Andrew Abbott, Max McGreevy, a little bit better of quality. Max McGreevy, 292 expected batting average is awful, but there's enough good things he's doing, limiting walks. And he doesn't really get strikeouts, but he finds ways to just survive with a 7% barrel percentage. As for Andrew Abbott, these prices are pretty appropriate. He's really good, the much better of the 2. So such is life. We got Sanchez, Jesus Sanchez, going up against Texas. Yordan Alvarez gets dinged up. I think he turned his ankle. I think he's going to be out for tomorrow or maybe for a couple of games. Hopefully not for a long time if you're a Houston Astros fan, all four of you. Trust me, every other team in baseball is cheering against you, so there's that. But we got AJ Bluebaugh, not blue balls, but I've got those two. Not for long. It's birthday week. Jesus Sanchez. I love my wife. Don't hurt me. Don't tell her that. Jesus Sanchez, over 1.5 hits plus rest of us RBIs. Give me the lefty going out there against Merrill Kelly, 9.6% barrel percentage. Did I really just do a Pokemon bit? I just did a Merrill Pokemon bit. Phillies money line, lastly, on the lean department, which again, the leans would have paid the bills on Monday, that's for sure. How about both Anderson and Daniel Hunter getting sacks there? Just ridiculous analysis that I should have bet myself. But I know a lot of other people did, so that's great. Again, I'll take credit for the things that I actually bet, so I won't take credit for that. But I want to give you the best information I possibly can. And the information for this game is when you simulate it out, it's low scoring. And these are two teams that traditionally have high variance outcomes in the version of home runs. But when you get Ohtani and Christopher Sanchez on the mound, and then you get like a 7.5 total in Dodger Stadium, it's really hard to do anything with the baseball game. And that's not, I'm going to try to find something, but Philly money line, that's going to be a lean for now. Let's get ourselves to some likes. But first, talked about it a second ago. I know this is the MLB show, but we got Lindy NFL rocking here. Coming up for Thursday. I'll keep this running, I think, past Thursday because I love you guys, but I'll get something going here for the MLB side of things. But the code works all the same. Less than $1 a day to join the monthly. Just over $1 a day for the weekly. Trying it out with Lindy NFL. I'd love to see you guys there. Pick'em's been going. We've been rocking in the book. Everything. NFL, MLB, and then NBA coming up in just over a month. That is really going to be beautiful times to have MLB playoffs and NBA coming back simultaneously with NFL. I got you covered. I really, really do. Plus some funny sometimes. All right, let's get to the plays. Bingo, bango, bongo. God, me with eye paint. Why do people hate me so much? Oh, wait, my own work. San Diego taking on the Metsies in this one, and basically minus 110 both sides of it. You can look at like no vig, profit X. It's going to be closer to the even money on both sides of it. You get my guy, Michael King, and I've been waiting my whole life to back Michael King. Now, he's not going to be long for this one, but even with an 11.4% barrel percentage, his numbers across the line are incredible. 224 expected batting average, 26.3% K rate, 224 expected batting average. I need to back Michael King. I have to. I just have to. And Clay Holmes on the other side, 43.1% hard hit, 259 expected batting average. And I've just seen so many meltdowns from this Mets bullpen, bringing the Padres bullpen along for the ride. San Diego money line. That's really where I want to be going with this one to start off the card. This should not be split. Again, was able to get this at plus money, so that was fun. I suggest shopping this. But yeah, minus 110 both sides at a majority of sports books. That's why it's in the graphic the way that it is. But this is my favorite play that we got so far. Actually, the home run might be my favorite play, but we'll get to that last. Miami taking on Colorado, and this was my first play of the day. You got an interesting pitching matchup. They're not mismatched by any means, although I think Yuri Perez has been the more successful of the two at times, but he has precipitously fallen off here in recent days, and it would not shock me if he ends up getting eviscerated, and then all of a sudden we're holding the bag. But remember, we're sports betting. It's not about what I think is going to happen all the time. It's simply saying, what is the price and the probability, and how can I go about putting the data together and find a conclusion of something that is positive EV, positive expected value? Because, well, if the total's 10.5, which it is at a ton of spots at minus 125, and then there's 10, which it's sitting at even money right now, you best believe that I'm going to be on the under there of that 10 with him and Kyle Freeland out there. These are two offenses that they haven't packed in by any means. I mean, Marcy's been incredible for the Miami Marlins. You get, Xavier Edwards, who I think is going to be all right to go here in this one, although got dinged up over the weekend. I like the under here a lot. I do think that you have both teams do just enough to be annoying, but it's starting to cool down here in Coors. And Yuri Perez, it's by way of a four-seamer that he throws 53% of the time. He is a big, goofy, 6'8", massive human being up there just throwing hot fire. 98, 99. That plays well in Colorado, purely because Colorado bats don't really catch up to it. So I think he's actually in a really good spot. And Kyle Freeland has traditionally been the Colorado Rocky pitcher that I trust the most. Just don't get me killed. Don't get me killed, Kyle Freeland. I think under 10, when you talk about range of outcomes, sure, 15, 16 runs is always in the equation there in Coors, but the numbers do prefer, on my side of things, closer to like a 57% expected win percentage on this. And that is going to be a bet to even money every single time. Actually, again, minus 105, I think best available here at the moment. So closer to that 5% edge that I've got. We'll get into that another day at some point in time. Last game, and I do think this is fantastic stuff from me. The Giants taking on Arizona, not to pat myself on the back, although there I go. That's my neck. I don't know why I'm doing that. San Francisco and Arizona. We don't have an official pitcher on the San Francisco side, and they are, the NL, there's these random spots where like, hey, maybe a team makes a crazy, crazy run. Basically have to run the table if you're them at this point in time. They could go a number of different directions. They could also do an opener. Kai-Wei Tang gave them some decent outing, or gave them a decent outing today from what I saw earlier. So I think that came to fruition. And oh no, it's 7-1. So that did not end up being the case. Oh no, he had 0 earned runs. They ended up going bullpen, and that is not what went well for them. Holy mother of God. Well, just always double checking this stuff. Let's get into the other side of this one though. Eduardo Rodriguez is not very good at this stage of his career. Now, he's found ways of being successful. He's found ways of being very, very successful. But I want to point out one very interesting thing that's happened with him over the course of this season. He has reverse splits in power. Yeah. And I have to pull this up now because my sheet decided to just go away for me. But here's the thing. 21.5% K rate against righties, 156 expected ISO. Fine, run of the mill here for a lefty. But look at these lefty numbers. He strikes him out at a lower clip, 19.5% K rate, and a 216 expected ISO, 367 xWOBA. And my big thing is fastball that he throws primarily to lefties. It's only got a 6.45% swinging strike rate with a 15.5 degree average launch angle. So his main pitch sees more loft. There's a lefty you probably know on the San Francisco side who does that pretty well. Rafael Devers is breaking my home run model here at the moment. I have his break even at plus 270 in Arizona, which is not a great home run ballpark. That just tells you what kind of power you're getting from Rafael Devers, who doesn't have reverse splits himself to some extent. I mean, he can hit lefties pretty damn well too, but 56.2% hard hit, 94 average exit velocity against lefties, 507 expected slugging. And then you go through the other specificity. The big thing for me, only an 8.4 degree launch angle, but considering you're getting nearly double the launch angle with that fastball offering from Eduardo Rodriguez, I feel very confident that we get a bettable number for Rafael Devers tomorrow. Currently my favorite play at price that I adjusted so far. That's wild. That one doesn't show up very often, especially because he's in San Francisco. I think I've bet him one time in San Francisco, period. He did not hit a home run for what it's worth, but why does my memory do that? All right, let's get the heck up out of here. I got to go watch some football. And speaking of football, code Lindy NFL Premium Discord's been rocking and rolling. We've got an all NFL channel and all football channel, as well, thrown into the mix for the people. Would love to have you guys over there. And again, want to make this equitable for all. I wanted to make it worth your time, make it worth mine, to make it worth everybody's time. And boy, do we have that here with half off for a monthly, $25 to be able to come kick it for a month. If you don't like it, you can cancel, but it's less than $1 a day right now to come kick it. So I wouldn't see any reason if you check out these videos day in, day out. Hey, Weston Wilson, 2-run home run. Let's go. Can we get this Phillies backdoor? That would make me very happy as we get the heck up out of here. And of course, Tails, join Tails. Let's get out of here. And that does it for another edition of MLB. I know it says NFL. MLB, Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks here for Tuesday. Head to that comment section below. Let me know your favorite plays that exist on the board for this one. I'm always paying attention to those. I'm always checking. If anybody has some sharp analysis, always love to hear it. Plus, you can fire that up over at Tails. Create your account down at the link below and start giving us your goods. That sounded creepy. We're going to get out of here. Until next time, friends, I'll be back Wednesday. I'm Eric Lindquist, and I'll be on the lookout. I already bet Buffalo minus 11.5, minus 12. Take a look at X. Follow me there at Eric Lindquist. You'll get some free bets there, and at the Tails Expert Picks page, trying to throw out some freebies for the people to be able to track as well over there. All right, until next time, friends, I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the MLB streets on Tuesday.